In this video, I'll walk you through the archaeological evidence, from stone tools to isotopic analysis, that shows early humans weren't generalist omnivores. We were fat hunters, and understanding that changes everything about how we should eat today. Okay, my name is Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and this is part of my question and answer series. Humans weren't born omnivores. The shocking truth about what we really ate for 1.5 million years. Okay, let's get to the question. This fat hunting specialization is compelling, but it raises a critical question about our evolutionary timeline. You mentioned that stone tools for plant processing only appeared about around 40,000 years ago, while meat-based hunting evidence goes back 1.5 million years. How does this massive gap in the archaeological record challenge our understanding of when humans supposedly became omnivores? And what were we actually eating during that enormous span of time? Well, it's an excellent question, okay? This gap between the earliest evidence of meat consumption, 1.5 to 2 million years ago, and the much later appearance of plant processing technology, approximately 40,000 years ago, forces a major reassessment of the idea that humans evolved as omnivores in the way modern nutrition often portrays. Here's how this archaeological and evolutionary mismatch reshapes our understanding. So, we start with the archaeological timeline, what the record actually shows. 1.5 to 2 million years ago, we have early meat consumption. Homo habilis and later Homo erectus show clear evidence of stone tools for butchering animals. For example, they had cut marks on bones where they were using stone tools for that. Hunting and scavenging large game, and rapid brain expansion linked with access to nutrient-dense animal foods. 800,000 to 400,000 years ago, we got the mastery of fire, another key component. Fire allowed for the cooking of meat, which increased nutrient availability, and it possibly was for the detoxifying of some plant foods, but there's no clear tools for processing them yet. Still, diets remain predominantly animal-based, especially in glacial or seasonal climates. Approximately 40,000 years ago, plant processing tools do appear. You get grinding stones and mortars show up alongside the meat tools, right? And this is during a time of expansion of Homo sapiens across the globe, and we have a number of cultural artifacts from art and burial practices that reflect that's when plant processing tools appear, not before. So this marks the beginning of a true dietary broadening, not the origin of omnivory. So what were humans actually eating for 1.5 million years? Well, the evidence points to primarily animal-based diets. Stable isotope analysis shows early humans had nitrogen signatures similar to top-level carnivores, like wolves or lions. Anatomical shifts in the gut, the teeth, and the brain size support this high animal food pattern. Plant foods during this period were likely seasonal fallback options, certainly not staples, consumed in raw or lightly processed forms, and limited by toxicity, fiber content, and low energy density. So, what are the evolutionary implications and why does this matter? Well, one, the omnivore model is a retrospective label. The term omnivore reflects modern dietary variety, not ancestral dietary specialization. Evolutionarily, humans were facultative carnivores. We could eat plants, but thrived on animal fat and meat. The late arrival of plant processing tools suggests plants were not central to survival or caloric intake until very recently. Humans likely only began to exploit hard to digest foods, like grains and legumes, after developing the tools and cooking methods to do so. Agriculture marks a radical shift, not a continuation. So around 10,000 years ago, with agriculture, carbohydrate intake surged. We were starting to grow grains and legumes. Nutrient density plummeted, okay? And chronic diseases appear in the fossil record. Growth being stunted, tooth decay, and arthritis. Okay? So, in conclusion, the 1.5 million year carnivore gap refutes the myth of the eternal omnivore. This prolonged era where humans made tools only for meat processing, evolved physical traits optimized for fat consumption, and showed no investment in plant grinding or detoxification. This demonstrates that our evolutionary baseline was animal based, not plant based. The omnivore classification only becomes somewhat accurate after 40,000 years ago, and even then largely for survival adaptation, not optimal health. And that becomes one of the key points that I point to. So we're not looking for survival adaptation, we're looking for optimal health now. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have comments or questions, please leave it in the appropriate section. And as always, this is a community that we thrive together. And I need your questions, though, to find out what you're really interested in so that I can make videos for what you want to see. So leave those in the comment section as well. And if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe. You can hit the bell icon if you want to get notified of special events. And please share this with somebody who may need it. It will help them and it helps the channel grow. And I thank you for that. Bye.